Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bible Tidbits YouTube channel. Glad you joined us today as we look at some more economy outreach Bibles. Now, a while back, I looked at every ESV translation economy and outreach Bible that they had available on Crossway. We compared sizes, we compared different availabilities, prices for individuals versus bulk, and how you could get the best bang for your buck to give away Bibles to people. And all of this is a part of a greater plan, a greater vision I have for Bible Tidbits. I want it to be more than just an online ministry. I want Bible Tidbits to put Bibles in the hands of people. I've actually got a lot of work going on this project right now, and I am super excited for that. And it will be launching in 2026, where we are going to start putting Bibles in people's hands. But while talking with a subscriber who is now a friend, he was talking to me about the Christian Standard Bible. And this was the Bible that he was actually recommended. He started reading, and he got saved reading that Bible. It was really an awesome story to get to hear from him. But talking with him, I wanted to pick up some Christian Standard Bible, some CSB, because I do recognize with the ESV, some of the language, the intended audience, I guess you could say, for that translation is geared more towards people who have been in and around church. There's some language in there that could be a little bit more difficult. I don't think it is too much at all, but I do see where that could be an issue in certain places of Scripture. I don't think it's a huge deal, but it's definitely something. But one thing I like to use whenever that presents itself as potentially being an issue is the CSB Bible. It's my favorite translation that lends itself to being more thought for thought. It's actually kind of a mixture there. If you want more, you can check out my video on the CSB translation. But I went on to Lifeway's website and I ordered all of their economy outreach type Bibles for the Christian Standard Version, the CSB, the Christian Standard Bible. And I have 4 actually. So you might notice, first off, right out the gate, there was a lot less to offer that they had. And one of these is actually a children's one. So when we're talking about reaching out to adults, there was 3. And they're pretty solid, rounded 3, but we're going to get more into that. So each one of them is very similar, very, very similar. And they lack a few things, but they also have some neat things. So first one we have here is the New Testament. You can pick these up at $1.49 each, and that is just for an individual. But with all of these Bibles, I think this is a neat thing. For 1 to 5, you have that standard pricing. If you order 5, say 5 to 10, there's a discount. 10 to, I think, 15 or 20, there's a discount. And all of these have that same discount. So these are actually, I don't have this number for any others, but if you order 300 of these or more, they are $1 each. So you see it drops by 49 cents each with ordering that large book. But it's flexible for the same for all these. So I'm just giving the base if you buy one, but they all just get cheaper at the same increments. So this one it's a 2-column format. It is 7-point font, which is kind of small, but I do think it's still relatively readable. It's not as bad as it could be, but it definitely could be bigger. It does have, our subheadings. It does have one thing interesting that was a little different. It has the titles of Jesus, a chart with related scriptures in the back. So every one of the titles of Jesus with the scripture reference in the back. It's got a where to turn section and a frequently asked questions section about the Bible. I thought all of those things were very neat additions for this New Testament. But one issue I have with it, and I actually have with most of these, not all, but most of these, is that there is no plan of salvation type section. There's no gospel explanation, and there is no introduction to the Bible. I want to get these to hand out to people and them just to open up page 1 and see, what is the Bible? How do I approach this? And turn another page. What is salvation? Maybe in the back. What is salvation? That's some things I really want in a Bible, and I struggled that these didn't have them. Granted, these are a very cheap and solid option. Very nice covers. For what you're getting here, it's very well put together. But missing those 2 things is kind of a big deal to me. But it is what it is, and still feel like they do have their place. But that was a tough one for me. The next one, so that's just a New Testament only. The next one is the expanded whole Bible version. The font size goes up a little bit at 7.5 point font. So 7.5 point font, so a little bit bigger, half a point bigger. And these are $2.99 each. So right at $3. And they drop incrementally just like all of these do. All the same features of the New Testament, just with adding the Old Testament in. And this is the CSB Outreach Bible and Outreach New Testament. So they're designed for outreach, but still lacks the plan of salvation and how to approach the Bible. One interesting thing, though, as we continue down this stack is the Holy Bible for Kids. This is a kids edition, a little bit more in price, at $7 or $3.74. I saw my 7 on the back here. $3.74 for this kids Bible. Here's the difficulty I have with this. The only difference between this kids Bible and this Bible here is the cover design and 2 pages. That's it. Other than that, these are the same. I'm pretty sure almost exactly. Oh, this one does have a topical concordance. So this one adds a topical concordance. And this has a 2-page gospel presentation in it and a different cover. That's the only thing that really gears it for kids over this Bible. But the gospel presentation, you could easily adapt and put in these, I think. It's actually, I like the gospel presentation it puts in it, because it is the same one that is from Lifeway that they have for kids, like a tract. And I use these tracts when working with kids all the time. And I really like it just because it has some visuals that whenever I'm explaining the gospel to them, I can go through the tract and use those visuals to kind of, as I'm speaking to them. So for 75 cents more than the whole Bible, you can get a different cover and the gospel presentation, and it says for kids on it. Honestly, if it didn't say the for kids part, this one would probably be a better option than the whole Bible. And then finally, we have the whole Bible large print. The exact same as this other whole Bible Outreach Bible, except it has 10-point font. So definitely a good readable font. My day-to-day reading Bible is 9.25 font, so really close to what I read daily. So good size font here. And this is $5.99 each. So not too terrible for a much bigger Bible here. So $5.99, you can get large print. Go up to $2.99 here, or down to $2.99, you can get the small print. Then $1.49, you can get the Outreach New Testament. And then this one, which is a good one for kids, and it does have that plan of salvation gospel presentation in it. So, but looking at these, here's where I see it's lacking. First off, if you remember in my ESV video, my overall winner, my favorite one, was the New Testament large print. I actually have one right here, the New Testament large print. So a little bit bigger footprint here, but this one has a much more readable font as compared to this one. And so if they were to do some things, I would say you need a large print of this. They have a large print of the whole Bible. It is a pretty decent price jump there, but making a large print of these New Testaments and add the plan of salvation. So this one is 10 points. So this large print is the same as this, the large print whole Bible here. So that would be an easy addition there. It has what the New Testament says about different things, how to read the New Testament, 30-day reading plan, and the plan of salvation is all included in here. I will say this one feels a little bit nicer, quality cover, but and I do know that these were a little bit more than these for the large print, but these were actually cheaper than the regular print in the ESV translation. So if they were to add a gospel presentation plan of salvation to these, they would dramatically increase my opinion of them. And if they were to add something about what's the Bible about, or a reading plan, or some guidance on approaching it, and where I think that guidance should be is right here. I want to be able to have a Bible that I hand to people, say, here you go, and then be able to take it. They're just walking by. Here you go. You know, they don't have time to talk. Take this. They go take it. Where are they going to open up? Never having a Bible before. They're going to open up right here. Okay, there's a blank page. Okay, Holy Bible. There's a table of contents. I guess I go to Matthew. and skip over here to Matthew, and here we are. Or in this one, here's why I like this one so much. Open up page 1. If I can get it there. A good place to start right there. What the Bible is. It's got a basic table of contents where this person, the person who opens up here and is wondering where to start, well, here's a small table of contents that tells you where to go for you. Then they're going to, obviously, they move on, and then they got the full table of contents here. But right there out the gate, good place to start. And it's got the plan of salvation. That's where I think these are lacking. But I also think that that's an easy change. So Lifeway, if you're watching this, Holman Bible, CSB, whoever needs to hear this, I don't even know who it is. It's kind of a workaround to find who it is. That's what these need. And if these had that, I think that these might be my outreach Bible. But because they don't, I go to these still. And I actually found a place to get them cheaper than Crossway's BiblesInBulk.com. My friend who watches the channel, who reached out to me about this type of project, sent that to me, and you can get them pretty cheap there. I think about the same price for lower quantities of these. So I'm probably going to be picking up a case of these soon to start passing out. But here's what's available. If you're a diehard CSB, here's what's available. Here's the issues with it. Can the issues be gotten around? Yes. Potentially just buying tracks and sticking a track in here to kind of give that guidance, I think could be a beneficial workaround here. But if not, maybe go to the ESV, and that's just a good all-in-one option. But it is good to see options. I am going to be looking into some more translations and doing some more videos like this. So if you have a specific translation that you want to see a video like this on, definitely drop it down below. And like I said, coming in hopefully the beginning of 2026, we will be launching the Bible Tidbits missions branch, I guess you could call it, that is intending to give away Bibles, and we want to give away as many as we can. I've been in contact with a lot of people, got more to get in contact with. We are building the things so that you can donate. We can partner together and get Bibles into the hands of people. So if you lasted this long into the video and wouldn't mind, please pray for that project. Pray for the preparation, the planning, the work that has to go on behind the scenes before we can launch it, because we want to get Bibles in people's hands, and we have a good direction to do it, and I'm working with some really great people on it. So I'll have all these Bibles linked below where you can check them out for yourself, see what the price is, see all of those details. I'll be posting some side-by-side comparisons on my Instagram the day this video releases, so you can have all of that information right there for you to help you make the best informed decision. I'll also be linking in the description below my video of the ESV Economy Bibles if that is something that interests you. So I thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see y'all next time.